Team 11 was the most disruptive team in the first half of the semester. And they sat against the wall halfway up so I could never reach them. And they always came. It was really interesting to me. So I had my eye on this team for weeks because I couldn't figure them out. They always came, but they always talked the entire time to each other. Ha ha ha, you know, passing things, notes back and forth. And they did terribly on everything. And so I actually thought, my hypothesis was this was a team who had bonded around hating the class. So that they came because they liked each other, but their hating the class also explained the kind of disruptive behavior. I mean, and it was getting to the point where it's disruptive. Disruptive enough that I moved teams around precisely to bring Team 11 right next to me, in the front on the aisle. They still talked. They still did badly. I could not figure these people out. And one day, I just happened to give them a quiz. It was supposed to be just an individual quiz. Passed it out. I could tell they were unhappy about it. It was a pop quiz. So I said, do you want to take them in teams? By that point in the semester, it was about mid-semester. They all knew, oh yeah, we want to take it in teams. So I let them take it in teams. Every other team, you know, handed in their team quiz and left as they were finished. They were filing out. Team 11 stayed. The bell rang. They're still there. A couple of minutes are going by. I'm saying, you know, we have to go. Another class is coming in. They're still arguing. They're not only arguing, but I was paying attention to how they were arguing. And one woman in the team was going, you have to listen to me. You have to listen to me. And so it seemed like there was a kind of internal struggle going on. People, obviously, that particular team member was feeling like she wasn't being heard. Finally, they finished their quiz, and as a team, they come with their quiz, and they hand it to me and say, can you please grade this right now? And I said, sure. So I started going through, and the first answer was right. Second answer, right. And I had to like think a little bit because I didn't have an answer key, so I had to just, at each question, sort of scan it and go, oh yes, right. I wasn't trying to keep them on tenterhooks, but they were, with every check mark, oh, they started getting so excited. And one of them said, oh, after maybe 4 check marks, maybe this is going to be our first 100 on an assignment. Check marks keep coming. It was their first 100 on an assignment. That team member who was saying, you have to listen to me, was saying, see, I told you had to listen to me. And they were just thrilled. And on the next readiness assessment test after this quiz, they were one of only 2 teams that got 100. And so their performance went bad, 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 bad. This quiz, 100. 100, 100, 100. Like, they just started doing astonishing work after that. And talking to them after the semester, it turned out that their own report about what had happened is that they did bond as friends, not necessarily around hating the class, but also not necessarily around anything in particular, but that there was something about that quiz that made them realize we really have to think about the answers to these questions. We can't just pick whatever the majority decides on or say yes to somebody because now we're his or her friend. And so the argument that I was seeing in class, it was an argument about the material. And there was something about that click that enabled them, instead of just functioning as friends, enabled them to function as still friends, it seemed like. They still came and talked to each other, although they were a bit more respectful after this. But they came and really talked about the concepts that I was asking them to think about. And that was the most dramatic sort of switch that I was able to see. Other teams evolved maybe more quickly, some more slowly, some maybe not quite, but none that dramatically. So they were great.